Hello and welcome back to The Challenge, a historical deep dive. It's been a while. I'm Lauren Blair Donovan. I'm a comedian, puppeteer, writer, and a host of other things. I'm also a lifelong challenge fan, and I'm having a grand old time looking back at the early days of the challenge and moving our way forward to see where we started, to understand where we ended up, all the things of the things. All right, have some channel news just really fast. Specifically, I want to thank you guys. I think my last video was in October of 2023, and I did not intend to take this much time off. Fun fact, I was using a Google Drive that was public access, wasn't doing anything shady, to get all the footage for these episodes so I can react and do commentary and do the video essay of it all, blah, 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 blah. The Google Drive was taken down. If you're in any challenge groups on Facebook, you probably know this. Caused quite a scene. I feel very bad for the moderators because I think they've gotten some interesting messaging that maybe did not understand the assignment. Shout out to all the lovely people involved because you guys are awesome and doing the Lord's work. Anyway, that all happened in October of 2023, and I think it was being resolved about the time I hit the road in November of 2023 to move semi-permanently, maybe permanently, we'll find out, to Atlanta, Georgia from Los Angeles. It was going to be awesome and things were coming up Lauren Blair until I got sick 80 million times the first 2 months that I've been here, including COVID. I haven't really caught a break in a while. I haven't had a lot of bandwidth. Unfortunately, most of my content took a hit, but this show definitely kind of got shelved more, I think, than others. But guess what? The episodes I needed for season 2 to finish this season out are now on Telegraph, and I figured out how to download them, and we're gonna get back to the usual nonsense. Yay! Please hit subscribe if you don't subscribe already. Like I said, this is a challenge deep dive. I want to keep it going, I don't want to quit. We're gonna go into season 3 after this. So if you like the challenge at all and you like commentary on the challenge, please follow. Also, I do other things on this channel, like I go to cemeteries, which might sound crazy, depending on what your preferences are. I've experienced a lot of loss in life, so I try to normalize dialogues around loss by looking for the graves of the stars, making it more digestible for people. I'm also a puppeteer and there's some puppet content coming soon, as well as some other silly nonsense. So I think this channel is gonna be having quite a lot of fun in 2024. So please join the party. You are invited. Please hit subscribe. And thank you to those who have subscribed and commented and liked these videos specifically. I have sort of taken a little nap from my YouTube channel, and I have been poking in every week or two just to make sure I'm not missing terrible comments telling me I'm awful or I don't know, something that I probably don't need to know but maybe would want to take care of and delete or something. And luckily that did not happen at all. But I have gotten a lot of engagement, and by a lot, I'm a small channel so it's relative, but I've consistently gotten at least a comment or two per week on one of these videos, or someone followed me from Instagram and left a comment saying it was specifically from the challenge deep dive. So shout out to you if you're watching. That totally made my day. Like I said, it's been a rough winter, so thank you. That really motivated me to come back. I knew I was coming back, but it became a bigger priority knowing that people cared, so thank you. All right, let's figure out where we left off and see how good my memory is gonna be of what was even going on this season, because it's been a couple months. Let's do the final half of season 2 of The Challenge.
Let's go, Janet, you got it, baby!
Oh my God, look, my hands won't fall.
Well, hang on.
Janet's taking a lot of time up there, so we're kind of wondering what's going on, what's wrong.
Go!
Oh my God, that's right. I was only remembering the whole Beth in Montana of it all, but that's right. Janet is having some form of a panic attack at the top of this bungee apparatus she's supposed to jump off of and collect inner tubes for points, and Real World is down and Road Rules is up, and Road Rules been kicking their ass the whole time, so there's stakes in this, especially since Montana and Beth both don't want to do the challenge. One, Montana doesn't want to do it because she has a legit fear, if I'm remembering correctly, and Beth sprained her ankle, I'm pretty sure, and being hung from your ankles doesn't sound like a walk in the park for her, so they both don't want to do it, and Janet out of nowhere is having this panic attack. Let's find out what happens.
I don't want you to jump. I want you to go down, take a rest. We'll see how your hands relax.
I can't just go down with this?
Nope. I'm here to keep you safe, and that's exactly what we're gonna do, okay?
Okay.
But we'll come back. We're not through with you yet.
Can you imagine if TJ talked to Katie like this? In future seasons, especially All Stars, and where her fear of like falling in water was like pathologized because it happened so many times and injured her so many times. Like, look, I know a lot of people are hard asses for the more extreme versions of the challenge. And trust me, later in this episode, I'm going to be agreeing with you because you're right in more ways than one. But as somebody who has a form of PTSD, I'm just very sensitive to people not wanting to do something or being afraid of something. And I think we should live in a culture where we don't gaslight each other's feelings and try to meet people where they're at, and that's the best way to go through anything, right? So call me a pansy if you must, but I'm on Team Janet about this one. Like, TJ, like, take notes, you know what I mean?
What's up?
She's not jumping.
We're not really sure what's up with Janet. Some strange psychological force has taken hold of her.
I'm too lazy to go back and watch the episode I did. That's the first half of this season. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it, because then this episode will make more sense, and even more sense than it's making to me right now. Besides the point, I think Neil is a psychologist. I feel like he went to school for psychology and he's calling it a strange psychological force. Like, I don't want Neil as my therapist. I'm just gonna put that out there. No, thank you.
I could have waited. Nah, hell no. Hell no. No,
That's all bullshit.
because you know what I felt like when that's it. It's the last of
You
it.
can't go. I
It's the end.
understand.
I
You
gotta
can't
do
go.
it
You
now.
don't go.
And at that point, I was just getting really pissed off because they're so competitive and we're just so not.
You should chill out, Keeper. You know how scared you were. She should.
That's what I'm saying. No doubt. But I had to go. I know she's scared.
I know you got bad respect for her.
Yeah, I know she's scared.
Freaking voice on her. She's scared. She's crying. It's gonna upset her more.
I mean, I'm sorry that she can hear it, but I'm a competitive person, man. You know, I have to win. That's my thing.
Janet's not on Ronnie or Keefla's team. This is a good news day if Janet can't do it. Why are they so pissed and taking it so personally that Janet had a panic attack? Like, dude, you guys are gonna win. You guys are gonna win the handsome reward. Like, shh, you know?
Hey guys, listen up. I just want everybody to know the reason Janet didn't jump was not her choice. That was entirely my choice. I decided to bring her back down, give her a chance to rest. If she feels like she wants to go back up, give another try, we're more than happy to do that. Does that sound good?
I just low-key love that the bungee jump official man, I don't know what his title is, but I just love that the head bungee jump dude just like schooled them and was like, guys, she's not a wimp. It was my fault. Like, that's a man for me. Let's not victim blame. That man's a hero. Thank you. So there's some like redundant back and forth where like Nate is telling Beth and Montana they have to go, and then we find out if that's even going to be a moot point, because guess who's ready to get back in the saddle? Janet.
Shake my hand, squeeze it hard. Oh, I like it. Have fun, Janet.
Thanks.
She's going back up there. I mean, how big are those balls? I mean, that's so cool.
All right, Janet, it's all you, baby.
Come on, Silverado.
Yeah, Janet.
It's just fun and games now.
Like, what's her secret? If I get triggered at all and have some form of like an anxiety attack or like PTSD trauma response, I'm not gonna see you for a few days. She just, what was that, 20 minutes later, an hour later top? She's like manhandling the guy and going back up the bungee. Like, yeah, she's cool. Like, I want to be her when I grow up. Like, how does she do the things she does? I'm genuinely asking.
I still have to have a harness around my ankle.
Your ankle's
Yes, I do.
fine. Your ankle's fine. You've been running around on high heels.
Excuse me, Beth.
That's fine, Nate, but anytime there's any pressure on it, it hurts.
Beth is using her foot as an excuse for a lot of things.
It's all about Beth doing the bungee jump and not Montana, when there's nothing wrong with Montana. She's healthy. What's the reason why you can't go?
I'm terrified of it. It's
Okay,
the one
well,
thing
I'm
I swore
terrified
that
of
I
it
would
too.
never do.
Same here.
We're so close.
You're going first.
No, I'm not going to do it, please.
Montana.
I thought you weren't scared. I thought it was just the ankle.
No.
I just really wish they could just close their eyes for 5 seconds and just jump.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you right now, I don't care if it's 15-1. If I go, you're going.
Even though Janet seemingly has not gone yet, unless this is like edited out of order, Beth and Montana are still fighting. And I'm just tickled that this is like a 20+ year feud. Like, I think Hillary Duff and Lindsay Lohan got over their beef quicker than Montana and Beth, and I'm not mad at it.
I can do this, and I've got to prove to myself that I can do this.
Janet, it's time for your date with gravity, girl.
Yeah, Janet. Hey, no games, baby. Open up your hands. And 5, 4, 3, 2.
She wasn't able to grab a ring, and you know what? That doesn't matter. We're just psyched that she went.
You know, round of applause for Janet, because it doesn't matter. Jason's right. This is like one of the only times I agree with Jason. Like, I think that's really cool that she was able to rally. And seriously, Janet, if you're watching this, tell me how you did that, because I need help. I need a lot of help. So maybe you could be the one to help me. Just a thought, no pressure, no pressure. However, this now means that Beth and/or Montana has to go unless the real world is for sure going to lose. I wonder what's gonna happen. I'm not wondering that hard.
I need a real worlder up on the launch pad right now.
So now in the last 2 rounds, it's going to be close. It's going to go down to either Beth or Montana having to jump.
Montana, all we need is 2 to win.
Come on, money.
I know you're scared, but I mean, guys.
You know how important this one is? If we don't win any other event, we gotta win this one because it'll be 3 out.
It's just one ring to tie it up.
I just said I'm out at that point. Seriously, I just really, really, really can't do it. Okay. Like, I just really, really can't. Like, you want to talk?
I knew that Montana was never going to do it.
I'm sorry, like, I feel terrible about it.
So pressure's going over to Beth.
You want to do this?
All I can say is I did it, and I really didn't want to do it. One time in your life when you've got a team of people who are relying on you.
You're never gonna have a whole team relying on you ever again. This is probably the last time in your life it'll ever be like this.
This is probably going to be the last time in your life that this is ever going to be like this. Oh God, no one on this show is psychic. No one knows that we're going to be on season 39 of the challenge and that Beth was going to be a huge part of at least, the first 10 to 15 seasons, 12 seasons, somewhere in there. And yeah, no, she was going to also have a history of her team either not liking her for valid or invalid reasons. I honestly see it a little bit both ways depending on the situation, but we'll get there when we get there in the future. But no, Beth does like to quit challenges, not do challenges. Like, I've seen the show. That is what happens most recently on All Stars 3. So, Jason, through no fault of your own, you're wrong. Who would have thought that this would be a reality show juggernaut that would stand the test of time and only get more rigorous from here? Like, this was season 2. Nobody knew this. It's so adorable at how little anyone knew where this was all going. Like, my God, I love it.
Beth, decision time.
You know what? I don't want to go. I can't do it.
Then good, Beth.
I can't do it.
That's fine. Let's go have fun now.
That's it. Nobody else on my team's going.
That's totally cool.
Okay, let's have a nuanced talk about this because on one hand, teamwork is important and you want to show up for your team and you don't want to let your team down. And I would never in a million years act like that's not a good idea. However, though, piggybacking off of what I last said, the stakes weren't as high. It's not like this is some official sports team where everyone has trained their whole lives for this moment, and if someone doesn't do it, they're gonna lose the World Series or something. I'm not saying that you should bail on your team, but I also, for both women, I especially considering the moment in time where we were at with the challenge, they probably thought it was just the second challenge and maybe there would be a third, if that. But this was such a flying by the seat of your pants. Again, no one knew the future. There's not a greater context to what they're doing. TV was not riddled with extreme crazy reality show competition. So I think bungee jumping and everything of that nature has become a little bit more normalized in the past 20 plus years. Not that everyone wants to do it. I don't want to bungee jump. I don't know about you guys, but that just, no thank you. But I feel like I know people who have bungee jumped, and I think in 99, I think that's when this aired, I don't know if everyone could say that they knew people who bungee jumped, so I understand the fear. Also, if they watched last season, the most exciting thing to happen was a Republican love story, Rachel and Sean. The challenges were wonky at best. They were certainly far from competitive. I think there was one heights challenge, but this season, even though it's still wonky at best, half the challenges, it still has escalated. So they probably thought they were signing up for one thing and then it got revved up a little bit, maybe not to an 11, but from a 3 to a 5 or 6 maybe. I think both women should have tried, don't get me wrong. They should have at least gone up on the platform. If they had to get down, they had to get down. That I would totally be on board with. But again, they both have stated that they have a fear of this, and Beth is legitimately injured. The doctors said so. It's on camera. So I'm not like disappointed in them as a viewer, at least not as a full-grown adult who's had trauma therapy. Like, I just want to meet people with where they're at. So I bet you guys might disagree, and that's okay. There's space for all of us to have our opinions, but in the cesspool of the internet where everybody likes to dogpile on every public figure, I don't think it's great that they didn't do it, but I see nuance to it, and I think they both were really genuinely freaked out, and I'm just not going to tar and feather them for that. So I'm going to provide that space here.
I definitely think one of them should have at least went and gave it a shot to at least try to tie it. It's quitting, and quitting is just a waste of time.
Nathan's auditioning to be TJ, and he doesn't even know it. I love it. All right, let's find out where they're going next with the whole like Talk Boy or whatever the hell they're using this season thing. Like, let's find out what's next, because I'm over this bungee challenge. I don't know about you guys, but let's move on to the next one.
Pick a card, any card. The next clue, baby, huh? Oh, see that?
Is that a disc?
Yeah.
I've seen this.
So we had Nepal, maybe there's clues.
Get your creative juices flowing, man. It's gonna get real dicey in Vegas.
What's so wild to me is that I don't think Real World Vegas has even filmed yet, so this might be the first time in the Buena Murray franchise that we get to go to Vegas.
Shad with Hard Rock.
Nice to meet you.
What's up, man? Hey, man, how are you? How are you? Shad with Hard Rock. How are you?
I'm so sorry. I feel like a mean girl for saying this, but Shad, I know I shouldn't name shame, but like Shad, I shouldn't talk. If it makes you feel better, I dated a Chad, and if that weren't bad enough, he had 2 D's. Chadada. So maybe Shad's not that bad. Maybe I stand corrected, but is Shad short for something like Shaddington or Shadyol or Shadathy? Can someone explain Shad to me? I'm pretty sincerely asking.
Well, thanks for coming. Peter Morton's Hard Rock Hotel. I'm going to be your host for the next couple days, and we didn't have an act book for tomorrow night, so we figured that an act, an act in our large concert venue. So we figured you guys could do that for us.
It's my dream to play Vegas. I can't believe it's coming true.
I think it's like genuinely sweet to see Montana really fired up about this. I had no idea that she had performing aspirations. I guess it kind of makes sense because I think she ended up in LA, and I know a lot of like the former cast members did try their hand in acting, but maybe she has like more of a history of it. Does anyone know if like Montana used to be an actress or an aspiring actress or whatever you want to call it?
It can be whatever you want. It can be a song, it can be a skit, whatever you guys want. Totally original means totally original.
This place is huge, and they're expecting us in less than 24 hours to get up on that stage and put a show together. Quite a daunting prospect.
Showtime's around 10 p.m.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. So you have from now until 10 p.m. to put it all together.
That's actually pretty hard. Like, a day to put on a show is hard enough. Working with other people can automatically bring conflict, but that's not a lot of direction. Like, do whatever you want. That can be a nightmare for art projects. I know it sounds like the dream, but if you don't know what to go for, or if you have 6 people who may or may not be creatively gifted / like performing, like give them some lines of color inside. I think the producers were hoping it would be a big fat mess, and that's why there's probably no guidance whatsoever besides just go on stage and do something. Like, it's hard. Go for it.
Only good things can happen in Vegas. It's sex, it's lights, it's rock and roll, it's just Babylon.
I definitely call Las Vegas the city of sin.
It's Vegas, baby. There's nothing else you can say.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, with all of those Vegas cliches, like really nobody said, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I'm so sick of Vegas slogans and people treating it like it's this like entity when really it's just a city of neon lights and trash. Like just be original. If you're gonna, I would love it if someone was like, Vegas, it's like the city where like, it's okay. It's just okay. Like Sin and Babylon and blah. But yes, we know it's Sin City, and I guess Babylon City too. Babylon, USA, I get it. We know.
All right, we got 10 minutes to fill. What can we do?
I could dance, I could dress up.
We don't have much time to get this show together.
Somebody comes up with the idea to spoof a talk show. Trash TV is perfect for our group.
Ooh, the trash talk show idea is a really good idea because it's something, especially in that era, everyone in the audience knows what it is because it saturated culture at the time. Maury, Jerry, Sally, Jesse, Raphael, Ricky Lake, others I'm not remembering at all because I was too little. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're just doing a spoof and parody of something that people already know. So like, it's an easy narrative. It's an easy laugh because people are recognizing it. I'm actually pretty impressed with this idea. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
At the costume shop, we see the Road Rules bus just sitting there.
Let's get it back.
Get it right now.
Oh, these are styling. What do you think?
Anyways, maybe I'm just looking for my sheets.
Yeah, I know you are.
Do y'all remember the bear plot? Yeah, me either. I blocked it out because it's really boring and the challenge didn't know what the challenge should be. Not by this season, at least. So there's like a teddy bear that they're playing basically capture the flag, capture the bear. I think I made that joke in the last video. It's not a good joke, but it stayed in my brain anyway. But they're playing capture the bear and they just have to like steal the bear and put it on whatever vehicle their team is using at the time. And like, spoiler alert, because I don't want to spend much time on the bear. This is, I think, the last time we deal with this really dumb plot point. Like, I don't even remember it being brought up at the end with the handsome reward thing. Like, I think the bear just gets ditched after this. And I'm thankful.
An MC for this evening. Y'all saw me on The Real World, that's our show. They kicked me out. I was the first one. I am the true one.
I mean, I guess I kind of like the synergy of David being the MC for the night. He was, maybe still is, a stand-up comedian. Let's see how his humor does. Let's take a look.
Wow, your breast says road rules. And your penis says real fake. All right.
I have a question. Are fake dicks a thing? I've heard of contraptions that are supposed to promise making you bigger, but I didn't know that people were getting like saline or silicone in their dicks. Like fake boobs. That joke does not work, in my opinion. I don't get it. It just felt like a chance to punch down on the guy she was next to. Like, I don't get the 90s stand-up humor half the time, but that's just, I don't, did that joke make any sense to anybody?
Now, you know what's going on. This is called a Real World Road Rule Challenge. So they're competing against each other for prizes, and right now, Road Rules is kicking butt. So we're gonna bring them out first. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Road Rule team.
Road Rules decides to do a review of sorts. I don't know what it is.
I came here to the hard rock. What's up, boy? Let me hear you say ho.
Like, I was not loving this to begin with because it just doesn't really have a through line. It just seems like a mediocre talent show, but it really lost me when the white man started rapping. The 90s was wild. It was a wild time. It was a wild time. Am I nostalgic for parts of the 90s and 2000s? Sure. Do I actually want to go back in time and relive it? F to the no. No, we have better culture now. We still have a ways to go, but...
I think we're a tough act to follow.
We'll see, Kifla.
Well, we got our next cast.
From the real world.
Hello? We have a great show in store for you this evening. This show is titled The Barry Stringer Show.
As soon as I walked on stage, I was no longer nervous because the audience was just eating up everything that we did.
Oh, you want to go there? I ain't going there. Oh,
one thing these kids know about, it's talk shows.
I'm coming out today, man. I'm in love with a man, all right? Get out here, my man. Let me get some of that sugar.
And this is exactly why I don't want to go back in time to the 90s. Like, it was novel to be gay, publicly, at least, in the 90s. Like, this was a sensation. This happened on talk shows semi-frequently. I'm not a connoisseur, but I stayed home sick from school enough and watched enough to know that this was a scandalous thing, and now it's so normal. So let's remember the context of this time. It's a little cringe through a 2024 lens, because of course it is, but I don't think they're punching down, for what it's worth. As a comedian, I do feel a lot of different ways, like a lot of different ways about how comedy and culture can intersect, but I do think intent matters, and I don't really think that they're punching down. I think that they're just playing to both what really did happen on those shows, as well as they had 6 people. They could only mix it up so many different ways. And I applaud them for actually kissing, because I think that proves that they're not being homophobic. It's still so crazy that, like, being gay was shocking, and therefore that was like an obvious thing for them to parody back then. Like, that's just, wow, context of that time. I'm glad we're in 2024. See, Noah is shocked that they even kissed. He's even kind of grossed out by it. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that there's no men out there that would be shocked at straight men kissing. Of course there are still, but it's an endangered animal. Do you know what I mean? It's an endangered species. Also, this is another reason for me to not really love Noah, so thank you.
Then they break out with the song, and then I thought, we're in trouble.
To get the crowd riled up and to have so much fun doing it is the best thing in the world. I feel so good right now. I own Las Vegas.
All right, now it's time to pick the winners. Judges, can you hold your cards up, please?
I cannot believe we have won an event, but we won.
The winners, the one and only
Yay, Real World finally won. And if you ask me, it's pretty deserved. I don't know if I were sitting in that audience now, if I'd be completely enchanted, because again, we're in 2024, but it seems like they did a really good job and they played to what was happening culturally. And unfortunately, it's gotten on camera, so people, I'm sure, are going to have opinions. Anyway, that wraps it up for the 4th episode. Let's roll right into the 5th episode. I'm sorry, those girls are feeling up Mark Long. I would never be so bold, famous person or not, to just start going to second base with them, even if they're a dude, even if their shirt is off. Like, control yourself, you know?
Left, right, left. I don't know, maybe it's been said, this part of Michigan make you dead. Sound off, sound off, real world, sound off. Let's fight!
Go to Camp Pendleton, U.S. Marine Corps in Oceanside, California. Be there by 6:30 p.m.
So they're going to some kind of military base, and naturally, before they probably get their asses kicked, they're going to party in Vegas because... All right, I'm going to say another cliche. When in Vegas. Though that's really supposed to be when in Rome, but not... You get it.
I really find a lot of humor in Montana, and I want to get to know her better.
Noah's just very, very charming. And not that I'm attracted to him.
I forgot that most of the 2 teams have some kind of couplings happening. Like, more people are kind of in a showmance than not. And I blocked out Noah and Montana more than anyone. Because how random is this? Like, opposites attract, like... But speaking of Noah, Noah goes missing the next morning. And let's find out how concerning versus how not concerning it is because the, most obvious explanation is probably what's happening.
Is Noah here? No.
Ronnie,
Yes.
go in the other room and see if all the girls are here.
Montana's not here? Nate. So Montana's not here. Oh, wait, Montana, you here? I'm here. Who's spread rumors? Why? Noah's missing Montana. He's in the Winnebago. He's in the Winnebago? Yeah. Sure? I'm positive.
What? Noah is apparently passed out in the Winnebago. How the hell he got to the Winnebago, I have no clue.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. He'll be all right though. We'll all be okay.
You left Noah somewhere, didn't you? Oh,
You
no.
did? He's sleeping in the Winnebago like a baby.
That was cold, Montana. That was cold. He's just in the Winnebago sleeping. How do you know this? How do you know this information? Young people. I love it.
The thing about Camp Pendleton I like the most is that these 11 other people get to see what I experience day in and day out, and then they gain a respect for that.
Where's my thumb go? Like that? Yeah. Straight out and
Hand angled a little bit. No, not up like that. That's like high Hitler.
So as you guys might remember, Nathan is a military dude, so he's kind of going back to his home base, somewhat literally. And I think it's cute that the team is like interested in learning about like his ways, but not everyone is.
I'm surrounded by these trained killing machines, and it's a very disturbing sight. These people are just broken human beings, and their job is to go and kill whoever they're told to.
Broken human beings. Oh, God. Neil, not a fan. I'm already not a fan of Neil, and now I'm officially, I don't care what your opinion is on the military, its budget, any given war that we're in, any given place that we have our military in throughout the world. It is complex. There's a lot of nuance to it. And even though I'm pretty liberal, especially socially, I'm not here to talk about the ins and outs of that and what's right and what's not, because there's people who are more qualified to do that than this knucklehead right here. But I will say though, I think it's important to normalize that, look, as a liberal, I support the troops. It's not hard. Not only do I respect the troops immensely, I am appalled at how society often throws them away when they come back from duty. Like, have you guys heard horror stories at the vet hospitals about how a lot of vets can't even get certain coverage? You know how judged people are for being a veteran because people are afraid that they have PTSD or have like who knows what kind of issues. And I'm not saying that there aren't some broken people in the military, because there's broken people in every group of people, but we don't throw away broken people. We try to help broken people. And again, I am 90% sure that Neil is in some kind of field in psychology. This is sort of why people don't trust therapists sometimes, because they're just people like the rest of us, and sometimes the most screwed up people get into the field, or at least some of the most judgmental people in Neil's case. Respect the troops. Support the troops. They are doing a thankless job for the country, and the country often does not even support them when they are no longer serving. It's a tragedy. Also, Neil is not even from this country, so not even like somebody that's like super into nationalist thoughts. At the same time, maybe don't judge a land that you don't even live in. Like, now I get the Revolutionary War. I get why we broke away from Great Britain, because people like Neil live there. Like, I get it. I just figured out history, guys. It's never been more clear to me. So they're explained that they're gonna do boot camp exercises so they can better appreciate what the military does. And of course, that's still not music to Neil's ears. Check it out.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Weapons and Field Training Battalion. You're in boot camp. I want you to understand that. And that will give you some appreciation for what the youth of America goes through when they come through here.
I've been put on a Marine camp where they train people to kill. I don't think it's my
responsibility to go along with any part of that if I don't want to. I'm under the impression that you can get out of any mission, that there's an option where you can step out and say, look, I don't want to do this. And today, I want to exercise that right and get the hell out of this place.
Neil, it is not that effing deep. They are not going to train you to kill anyone. You are not being complicit in killing anyone. Like, get over yourself, you dude. You don't have to like killing. You don't have to like war, you know? Like, I have a lot of strong feelings on that too, but I'm still not on your side about this. You are literally on a team with somebody in the military. Show some respect. Like, what hill is this guy dying on? It does not even make sense to me. I can't even be like, oh, in the 90s, British men hated the US military. I don't even get how I could argue a context of this time. Like, maybe he's a pacifist and that's fine, but this is coming across incredibly elitist, incredibly judgmental. And just because they technically have training where they know how to end somebody if they need to, doesn't mean that they don't have humanity. I don't like Neil. I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. I almost like Sean the Republican more. Like, I never thought I'd say the day, but here we are. Neil makes me miss Rachel and Sean. Ugh. What have you done to me, Neil? God.
It's not as if it's the mission itself that is hard or scary to me. It's those scary-eyed, shaven-headed killing machines that are all over the place.
How does he just keep getting worse? How does shaven crazy eyes? Scary-eyed, shaven head killing machines? They're humans too. I'm just gonna put that out there. They're humans.
We're already 3-1 down, and this competition really counts. Beth still can't walk, but on the other hand, I'm being asked to do something that makes me very, very, very uncomfortable.
What's the situation if I choose not to do it?
It's not good. The only way to succeed in this is as a team.
Basically, you're saying it's down to my back to completely destroy this team's chances.
No, it doesn't stand on your back. It stands on the strength of the team.
Well, it stands on mine if I morally object to being here.
You ever been in the military?
No.
Do you know anything about the life that we live?
No.
And how can you so strongly object to it?
Because I know that you're trying to kill other people.
Teachable moment time. Finally, something good that can come out of this monstrosity of the scene. Oh my God. Do you know much about the military and what we do? No. This is why you don't have big opinions on things that you don't know things about. I don't care if it's about a political issue, a social issue, or a personal issue. Like if somebody is saying something about their life or having an emotion and you don't really know where it's coming from because it seems maybe disproportionate, don't judge what you don't know. That is ignorance. I don't want to get too preachy here because this is supposed to be lighthearted. This is kind of a doozy and I just cannot let this go though. So a couple scenes back in the last episode, we were watching men be gay and that was like shocking. And I had a whole soapbox about how like, oh, it's not great, but like context of the time, this really was a shocking thing and you cannot take them out of the context of their time. But like, look how many people now probably thought there was something wrong or scandalous or who knows what silly about men falling in love with men. And now most people have sort of taken the time to digest that it's just two humans in love and just live and let live. And it's really not that deep and it's not really worth judging because our culture is more educated. Again, I am so not clear about where Neil is really coming from here. My best guess is that he's a pacifist, but I don't remember just hating the military being like a huge trend in 1999. I mean, I would have been too young maybe to know that, but I feel like I've been friends with people who are older than me like for most of my life and I would have heard about that at some point. I don't know. Or it would have been on like some VH1. I love the 90s countdown thingamajig talking head show where it'd be like, oh, remember when we hated the military? Like, I don't think this is that. This is just an ignorant guy who's literally judging what he does not understand. And I bring up the whole gay talk show stuff to say that, like, think about what's going on in culture now. There's so much that we don't understand. We're getting so polarized about a lot of issues. And what's so sad to me is that half the time when people are disagreeing with a new movement, it's because they have not taken the time to understand the context and nuance of where people are coming from. There's always more to the story than the headlines and the sound bites and the emotions that people are bringing to the table. I also strongly feel that way with mental health. I feel like if everybody's mental health was taken care of, we would be better at showing up for each other, because a lot of us are in survival mode, have the air mask on. Unfortunately, that's just human nature, but if we were all better taken care of, we could all better take care of both ourselves and other people, and maybe have a little bit more bandwidth to understand other perspectives, emotions, situations, experiences, points of view, and it wouldn't be as threatening and us versus them. That is my mental health soapbox. That is my TED Talk. I know I don't look it, but I have had a lot of invisible otherness, including but not limited to my own mental health battles. And so I think the best thing I can do to pay things forward is to call shenanigans on when people are just being ignorant, and bring up we all just need to do better. Like, this is, again, such a weird issue. I don't get why he's dying on this hill so much. He's just gonna do some push-ups. They're not gonna make him man a tank in some third world country. You know what I mean? It's MTV's The Challenge, for crying out loud, not G.I. Jane even. But this is why ignorance is bad. I don't care what the issue is. I don't care how mainstream it is. Take the time to understand what you are judging before you judge. And then we can have nice things. It's a great idea. Please and thanks.
And I think that's morally wrong.
What we're trained to do is defend our country and our way of life.
Fine, well, maybe I'm an Englishman and I don't necessarily agree with the way of life that you're defending.
I think you need to look at this as what it is. We are just providing you an area for you to go out and complete your challenges. That's it. We're not trying to impose our will on you.
And I would just like to give credit to the guy in the military that Neil is talking to, because despite the fact that Neil thinks that they're all, scary-eyed, shaven-head killing machines, this man is being very diplomatic, very polite, and giving Neil a lot of grace by just redirecting his thought process by just talking about facts and ending it with this is just a framework to do your challenge. This is just what we're doing today. It's just about the challenge. It's not about anything else. Again, I think Neil has a few degrees, possibly in psychology. How is he so bad at life? You got schooled by somebody that you think is less than you. I'm just gonna point that out because it's facts.
What's up, Neil, baby?
Well, I'm not too happy about this one. But that said, apparently, if I don't do it, we're all... So I'm going to turn a blind eye. I was doing this for me and for these people who've become good friends of mine, who are my team. Sure as hell not doing it for him. Nothing he says is going to change my opinion about that.
Oh, wow, what a hero. He's a good guy after all. I was wrong. No, I'm not. Performative weirdo. Ugh. You just want the money. Be real. You don't even care about the team, I don't think. You just want to win. I'm gonna be bold and judge what I don't understand, which is you. Doesn't feel good, does it?
And if at any point throughout it gets to the point where you say you can't have a blind eye anymore, we're all support you completely.
Absolutely.
100% behind you.
Again, Nathan's in the military. He's not, again, being a scary-eyed, shaven-head killing machine. He's being exceptionally patient and understanding here. Neil needs to change this. I hope this changed his point of view. I know this was over 20 years ago, so maybe now he's the biggest supporter of support the troops right along with Michelle Obama. Maybe they're besties and they've done lots of fundraisers. I hope so. I doubt it though, at least about the Michelle Obama and him being besties of it all. Who knows? I don't know what Neil. I barely knew there was a Neil before this season. I did not watch Real World London. Neil has no impression of me in the challenge history. I did not remember him at all until I watched this. So I hope he's changed. I'm too lazy to look up anything about him because I don't know. I'm just not impressed enough. It's not even interesting, but I'm not even the biggest Nathan fan. Nathan's a class act in this scene though. Shout out to Nathan, he did not have to be that patient. Because ironically, a lot of the military involves troubleshooting and conflict resolution. It's not all killing. It's weird that the psychologist is not as good at that as these, I'm not gonna say the phrase that he said again because I'm sick of it. But yeah, as the people he's looking down on. Get a life, Neil. Okay, in all honesty, this is a really boring challenge. They're just doing boot camp, Tough Mudder kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but also at the same time, the challenge has not quite figured out camera angles and it's just kind of a mess to watch. So that's why I muted it, and I'm just saying, like, this is what you're missing, and it's really not much, so moving on.
We just wanted to prove to them that a little mental was involved in this one too, and we pulled it off. We just wanted to show them that we can do this.
So they're going somewhere in Los Angeles, Bel Air specifically, and let's find out where they're going. So I'm sick of showing the Talk Boy stuff because it's kind of the same thing every time. They're going to California, specifically Bel Air. Let's find out where.
No, you know what this looks like? This looks like the Playboy Mansion.
Looks like what?
The Playboy Mansion.
No!
It looks like
What's
it.
the Playboy bodies running all around?
Dude, this is the Playboy Mansion. I don't know for sure, but my friend drove me by a place that looks exactly like it.
There better be some hot guys here, that's all I have to say.
Oh, Beth, sweetie. Yeah, because the Playboy Mansion was known for its hunky hot dudes, like, in droves. It was definitely a sausage fest all the time on Girls Next Door. Like, yeah.
Hello!
What's up, baby? Hey, girl!
I'm Victoria Solstead, Player of the Year 97.
We totally got gypped. What kind of reward is that?
Nathan.
Nice to meet you.
As if I haven't felt inadequate enough today, and now I gotta deal with like fake boobs and airbrushing.
I just say hi.
Hi. But I'm thinking like, well, she may have bigger boobs than me, but I have a better ass, so whatever.
Aw, ladies. There's way more than one type of way to be beautiful, and they're all really pretty. This is also a time in culture, too, where, like, there's just a lot of weirdness when it comes to women's sexuality and like, pitting women against each other and objectifying women. If you're a Gen Zer watching this and you're just thinking that they're, like, hating or, I don't know, being negative Nancy's, like, it was almost impossible to be a Gen Xer through a millennial in these times and for many years after without having it take some hit on your self-esteem and have similar behaviors stem from it. This is actually quite mild compared to how some people reacted to pretty girls being around. Again, I'm really glad we're in 2024 and not 1999. Like, we still have problems, but there's so many other forms of beauty besides big boobed, blonde models being the norm. Like, there's so many other ways to be beautiful that's finally accepted, and because it's valid. You guys are all beautiful. Like, you were picked to be on TV. Like, it's just so sad. It just makes me sad that us women, we're just not very kind to ourselves. It sucks.
All I'm saying is, hook a sister up. It seems like this is a reward for the men.
You look like my girlfriend.
Oh, really?
You look like my girlfriend. I'm actually a Mark Long fan, but some of these early seasons, it's really hard to not snark on him because he's not the Godfather yet. He's just a young knucklehead whippersnapper who's got a lot of testosterone, and he wants everyone to know it and flirt and have women grab his chesticles and whatever else he has going on. I don't even remember, but oh, the early days of the Godfather.
Rasta, where they like the jacuzzis in the cave. And that's all yours until 11 o'clock. Sorry. That's like all yours. You can have a wild party, whatever you guys want, all yours.
So weird to watch footage of the Playboy Mansion now because, like, so much information has come out about a lot of things, which we might get into, but, like, specifically how not well taken care of the mansion was. Like, apparently there was mold and, like, dog relief. It was used as dog relief stations, like various rooms and curtains, and not necessarily very well cleaned up after. And there may have been some hoarding involved. And it's just so quaint to look back at 1999 where it's like, oh, it's a mansion and it's this like sexual revolution symbol and estate technically and how glamorous. And it's like, oh no, sweetie, honey, no, this was outdated already by this time and probably in its decline. It was probably declining. Like, only we knew then what we know now, you know?
Where you guys going to stay tonight is like game house. It's like all these games and stuff, and they have special rooms for
Twister?
Whatever you call it, yeah.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I don't think those rooms were used for Twister, and I'm not even sure they were used for consensual acts, based on what's been revealed since the past couple years. Like, oof. This is a weird, weird watch in 2024. Of all the things that have not aged well, this is pretty up there. Like the Playboy Mansion, ugh, not all that glitters is gold. No, sometimes glitter is just predatory behavior. Like, ugh.
So comfortable.
He needs a little spanking, I think.
Anybody got a pipe or a cigar or something?
Do you guys want to go and swim? Are you guys hot? I'm like...
Yeah.
Why, yes, thank you. I want to get into a bathing suit in front of a bunch of Playboy models.
I haven't met you. I'm Ann.
I'm Stacy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Montana.
Stacy. I was on the cover of Playboy, October of '97. I don't know if you guys saw it. Catching a football.
Catching a football.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Was that a college issue?
Yeah, the college issue.
You have a subscription?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
For the past maybe 5 years, my brother's always had a prescription to Playboy. Now his sister is going to be in the magazine.
I don't know what to do with that little anecdote. Oh, God. She can do whatever she wants. It's not about her. It's just the, being too tickled at the fact that her brother's gonna see her naked. I don't really get what she's angling at. Also, I'm not at all shocked that Neil has a subscription to Playboy. Let me play that again. Hold on. Prescription. Like a drug from the pharmacy, but sure. We can use that interchangeably with subscription, right? I'm not one to talk. I mix up words all the time. It's a little adorable. I would have let it go if she wasn't talking about her brother and his prescription to Playboy and how she's going to be in Playboy now. Yeah, because I really am not one to talk. But no, I think that gives me some wiggle room where, yeah, prescription, little giggle.
Hello there. Hello there.
How
you doing? My pleasure. How are you? Looks as if you've already tried the waters.
Nice to meet you.
My pleasure. This is Brandy.
Hi, Ann. Nice to meet you.
It was hard to believe that Hugh is actually 73 years old. Well, he obviously gets a lot of exercise, if you know what I mean.
Ugh, Beth, no, I don't want to think about Grandpa doing that. I don't. Also, it's so bizarre to see him with a bunch of girlfriends and none of them were on Girls Next Door or anything after. Like, that's wild to me. There's a couple pieces of media, I think on Sex and the City, I think is another time where he's featured because they go to the Playboy Mansion in the LA episodes. And I don't think Holly, Bridget, or Kendra are in those episodes either. So it's just so bizarre to think that like they were like amongst the last of many. Like, they weren't the last, obviously. They had the twins and his now widow at one point, I think. I didn't watch the show anymore at that time, but I don't know. It's weird. It's almost like people who need 80 million girlfriends maybe aren't that nice of people and they're projecting to look... I don't even know what they want to look like. Popular? Not boyfriend of the year.
Oh my Noah's in Candyland, and that's making Montana just a little jealous.
I spent about 3 hours talking with one of the playmates, Elisa. And we had a really good conversation about all kinds of deep issues. Sort of.
Rickon.
Will you send us some sentiment?
Hey! Hi, what's going on?
We're discussing the girls in Playboy, whether or not...
No, you deserve a girl at least as intelligent and deep as you.
Where did she come up with that? Was that rude? Sorry.
I'm just playing with him. Don't worry about it. We can't get
I'm not.
What happened to
Was she just being a bitch again? I've heard that girl. Was she not insulting me?
But more than that, she was insulting me.
No, but she was directly insulting me too.
I actually appreciate that playmate having the agency to call that out because I think that's always hard in general. And I think women in general are told to be quiet and not call things out. Otherwise, they're difficult or drama queens or hysterical, like whatever. And that's still sometimes hard in 2004. But again, this is like before the turn of the century into the 21st century. Turn of the century. How is that in our lifetime? I don't get it. What? But yeah, this was prior to the turn of the century. You know, into these modern times. And I find it ironic too, because Montana is like a feminist, and I usually appreciate her feminist stances, especially the older I get and like look back on these. I think like 14-year-old me was like, I want to be a pretty princess, so I don't want to look angry. But no, the older I get, I'm like, no, Montana is right about a lot of things, but this is not one of those moments. And this is why I personally have a little bit of a complicated parasocial relationship with Montana, because sometimes she stood for the right things but could be a little bit of a dick about it, and sometimes she was just a hypocrite. Like, this is definitely both a dick and a hypocritical moment. You can't be a feminist and shame women for taking off their clothes for money, and you can't be a feminist and assume that a woman who takes off her clothes for money would lack intellectual depth. I know she's like into Noah and probably in denial about it, so there's like this pressure cooker and the valves are going to release somewhere, and she's a young human and she's in a certain time where society encouraged this even amongst feminists. I don't think they were looking out for quote unquote bimbo culture. Like, they did look down on people who did Playboy. Like, feminism in the 90s was a whole vibe that I'm glad has kind of shifted, because some of it was actually a little bit toxic, but that's another rabbit hole for another time. But yeah, again, I'm glad we're in 2024 and women have a little bit more agency to speak up for themselves, but also we call out when people SLUT shame and make weird assumptions based on, adult workers. Hopefully she wouldn't do that now, though. Let's just hope. So they're jumping on the trampoline, because of course there's a trampoline at the Playboy Mansion. Of course I wonder why. Ugh. And Anne has an injury, making this, I think, the second of the season, Beth being the first. And now she has to go to the hospital.
Why are you pinching me like that?
Something's brewing between Janet and Jason. Little love connection, maybe.
So, late last night, you and Janet were caught on the tennis courts. What's up with you and Janet?
No, we were not!
In the tennis courts?
Yeah.
You're lying to me!
You guys can at least tell me when you catch me.
That pretty much ends whatever relationship I had before this.
Wait, ends what relationship he had before that? Did he cheat? Was he in a relationship flirting with Janice this whole time and then had whatever rendezvous he did with her on the tennis courts? Like, I have questions. Also, though, like, I appreciate this kind of call out so much more than the creepy nighttime bedtime cameras that catch people, rocking the bunk beds usually in future challenges. I don't know how that's not revenge porn adjacent. Like, that just gives, like, that's not necessary. I mean, I appreciate when we have proof that things happen, you know what I mean? Versus, like, them lying about it. But also, it is everyone's prerogative to keep that private. So, I don't know. It's weird to be a reality TV show fan when you also care about people's privacy and, personal boundaries. I don't know. But I think this tennis court scene is actually adorable, because they're both clearly flipped out, embarrassed, and kind of giddy too, because they probably had fun. And I don't know, it's cute. It's just way less predatory than the creepy nighttime cameras over people's bunk beds.
Before you collect your money, it is time to send that old Winnie to the big RV park in the sky.
We're gonna squash the Winnie? No!
Meet at the corner of Mission and Jessie Streets in downtown LA today at 12:30 p.m. sharp.
I thought all the missions were over, but they just keep on coming.
For the first time ever, I'm on Neil's side. I'm kind of ready for these challenges to be over, because it's not that exciting. Like, it's cute, it's nostalgic, it's kind of fun, but I'm not exactly on the edge of my seat the way I normally am with the challenge. Minus season 39, because it's not that exciting. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Mike Lewis and I were recapping season 39 on his podcast, the Mike Lewis podcast, and we just ran out of steam because we just kept saying the same things over and over again. So hopefully All Stars 4, please, hopefully All Stars 4 will be out soon, and it's not off the table that we'd come back to do that, so fingers crossed. I feel like All Stars 4 has got to be better than season 39. My God. But also, hey, like, where'd this old Winnebago come from? I thought they got rid of it already. Like, why are we revisiting the broken down Winnebago? Like, this is television in 1999. This is riveting TV, apparently.
Look at it. Look at it. Looks all sad.
Best day of my life to see that damn Winnie blown up.
I want her blown up in it.
I'm so happy to see it go, and I wish I could push the button.
How you doing? Welcome to LA.
Hi.
I'm a pyrotechnician in charge. What we're gonna do here is real worlders.
Huh?
Which ones are you? Okay, since you drove in that thing, you get to blow it all up.
Yeah! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God! Oh my!
The only thing novel about this is I'm pretty sure that it's the first pyrotechnics, explosion, bombs, whatever you want to call it, that would eventually infiltrate and become mainstays of the challenge. This is a historic deep dive, and I think this is the first time that we see some pyromania, you know? See some bombs going off. And ironically, it's not the military base where Neil thinks that that's what happens all day, every day.
Listen up. Volume.
A walk in the chamber will leave you rolling in dough. So get your hands ready and go with the flow.
Meet in front of the Globe by City Walk at Universal Studios Hollywood at 3.
Yeah, boy!
Oh, they're going to Universal Studios. That makes me miss LA more than I'm already missing LA. I miss LA, by the way. I don't dislike Atlanta. I've been sick this whole time, so I'm not gonna say much else. I just feel a little out of place, I guess. But I had a Universal theme park pass, like an annual one, and it was my whole personality, and I went all the time. So this is gonna be nostalgic for me.
I'd do everything to romance that girl, but she lives in Chicago, and I don't know how I feel about long-distance relationships. They usually don't work out, and I can't risk losing her as a friend.
Spoiler alert, Jason is 100% married to someone else. I cannot speak to Janet, but may their relationship / dalliance, may that rest in peace. And hopefully they're still friends, or at least friendly. So on the way to Universal Studios, they start playing this like truth or truth game where they're just asking each other questions and they have to answer it truthfully. And most of it's not that interesting. But then we get this little snapshot into Ronnie and Kifla's relationship, ? And I'm very confused. Just watch.
Ronnie, explain your relationship with Kifla.
Kifla's a great guy. I respect him a lot. And, we're just really good friends.
Ronnie and I, we're going our separate ways, but, that's my girl, we cool.
I would love for him to be my boyfriend. I'm scared to see how it's gonna end up now that we're not together. Just live far away from each other, and I would really hate to get emotionally attached to someone so much and have to leave them. I have to keep this wall up, and it's hard for me to let people know, man, I like you this much, You're that close to me.
I thought they were a full-fledged couple. They went into the season saying that they've been dating since they met on one of their past Road Rules seasons, because the other one was like visiting for like a mission or something. And now they're gonna break up after this and just be, I'm so confused and a little bit sad because I did not hate them as a couple. Can anyone explain it to me? Did I miss something? Like, what happened?
We are on our way to Universal Studios, and we are going to enter the money chamber.
I turn the corner and I notice it's this huge glass tube, and on the side of it says Centipede $50,000 money grab. So that's when all of our tension and all of our butterflies start kicking in.
What's up, guys? How are you, man? Hey, buddy. How are you?
The way it's set up is that for each mission that we won, we're gonna get 1 minute in the chamber.
Now the rules are you guys cannot reach for the ceiling or on the ground. You have to grab everything in between, okay?
Is it just me, or did David have the same outfit, like a cartoon character, as a host this entire season? We only got Puck at the end in terms of visually. His voice only graced us with his presence for the most part last season. We got to see a lot more of David on screen than we did Puck. I mean, he's got the vest action going on now, but I'm pretty sure it has a jacket that he's not wearing. That's the same outfit he was wearing this whole time. But hey, if you know it looks good on you, rock it, I guess, every day.
Formation like this. Just in a circle like that, you should be grabbing.
Yo, every $20 bill is coming out of there right now.
Roll rulers. You guys are ready? Please step your butts into that chamber and grab that money. By the way, Mr. Big gets 20%.
Good luck, guys. I'm more nervous now than I was for any competition that we went through with the whole trip.
On your mark, get set, grab that money, man.
Y'all realize that this is basically the final. This is the final. Just being in a money pit, grabbing money. Like, this is not even close to when Kenny picked up Wes and carried his ass up a mountain. Like, this is adorable. This is the cutest challenge final ever. Like, this is nice work if you can get it, where you just can grab money out of final. You don't get dehydrated. You don't have to eat like gross bugs. They had no idea how good they had it. My God. The times have changed.
Real World in 1 minute got 10,240 bangs.
Road Rules got 39,000.
Unsurprisingly, Road Rules wins because they had 3 more minutes, I think it was, to be in the money chamber compared to the Real World. God, if the Real World won, though, that would have been quite the upset. Like, that would have been maybe not as impressive, but close to, had Kellyanne and Sarah won the Ruins. Like, that's the upset that I wish happened and was so close to happening. This would have been pretty impressive too, but as I'm hearing it out loud, maybe not, I don't know. But unsurprisingly, Road Rules wins. I don't remember the early challenges all that well, but I'm pretty sure Road Rules won a bunch in the upcoming seasons, and we will find out shortly, so keep watching. But this was very anticlimactic, and I have the feeling every time Road Rules wins, it's gonna be anticlimactic because they're just more athletic. They were picked to road trip it and do missions already, where like Real Worlders were picked to live in a house and get drunk and start fights with each other.
Group hug, ready? 1, 2.
Even though it was 2 teams battling it out, it's one big group hug.
Welcome to the family.
I worked so hard through every single mission, and
After 2 weeks, 2 long, busy, and hard weeks,
I was able to make good friends. That's more important to me than cash.
we were playing games and singing songs. I literally adore the people who I was on this trip with, except for Beth.
I don't think that I bonded with you guys because I'm not a follower. I'm a leader.
I cannot believe the bonds I formed and the memories I have.
This is the most unhinged, like, nostalgic wrap-up of the show, going down memory lane in confessionals, that I have ever seen in challenge history. Like, what is this?
It's opened my eyes to a lot of different perspectives on things that I never would have had before.
I'm just beyond grateful for this.
But that's what life is all about, you know? It's all about meeting your new friends and keeping these friends so that you can always go back to them.
There's this comfort level, you know, and people bond a lot quicker.
And then I guess it's a little Arkansas that we all start dating.
There was so much richness in the whole experience. Makes me happy. I've gone from sad to glad.
And that's the end of the show. That's the end of season 2 of the challenge. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that would be a little more exciting than it was, because I hold on dearly to the nostalgia of the early challenges, and so far the first 2 seasons, I'm a little like, what in the hey is this? I think it was just fun back in the day, because it was kind of like when Urkel showed up on an episode of Full House, and it's like, whoa, crossover. I like all those people, and they're in the same scene together. That's awesome. Like, what even happened with Nathan and Kaylee? Like, they barely got addressed in these past couple episodes. I doubt Montana and Neil stayed friends. Apparently Ronnie and Kifla became just friends. So I mean, like, it's just a lot of loose ends and kind of an anticlimactic final. I know it wasn't called that at the time, but like, let's call a spade a spade. That was the placeholder for what the final would eventually become. It was more complaining than competing, sometimes valid, sometimes not. Looking at you, Neil. I will say though, it is a step up from the last season, because the last season was just a road rule season with real rollers. And now at least there's people from both camps, and it is a competition, and there are challenges with clear rules. I think the last season there was also like, just go down a hill in a ball or walk down a building, and it's like, that's it? You just have to do the thing to get money? Like, that's it? What happens if people don't do it? They didn't explain it. No one didn't do it, I don't think. So I'm very curious for season 3, which will be out sometime next month. I have not entirely decided how I'm going to tackle the next season, because I believe there are 12 episodes, and that's a lot of footage. I already feel like I'm pushing it with how in-depth I'm going with this, and I'm learning the thing as I'm doing it. I've never done an undertaking quite like this. I would like for it to be a little more succinct, whether that means it's closer to like 3 or 4 episodes per season, or whether it's still gonna be 2 episodes, but I really pick just the highlights and not just the stuff that I find entertaining. I'm not totally sure. We're gonna find out when we get there. I'm probably gonna take a full month to release episode 1, just because it is a lot of work to comb through these episodes, find out what's good, then take the time to film it, then take the time to edit it, and so on and so forth. So might be a once a month thing. So I'm not gonna overpromise and underdeliver, but definitely in March there will be another episode unless something weird happens with my health again. And if it does, you can only find out if you subscribe here. I do sometimes post in the community with like posts about what's going on. I have a blog, laurenblairdonovan.com, where sometimes I give a little bit of insight into what's happening if there are delays in any fronts, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, life, whatever. And of course, my social media is Blairosaurus Rex, basically everywhere. Once again, thank you so much for not letting this channel be a complete ghost channel in my absence this winter. It really did make my day to see that it was getting some love, so thank you. Please continue to make my day and subscribe and comment, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me. And please, yeah, follow me to social media or the blog if you're so inclined. We'll see you guys next time for season 3 and see if it cooks with gas a little bit more. I'm hoping that each season gets a little bit more closer to the challenge we know and love, but we'll get there when we get there. We'll figure it out in real time together. So please subscribe and come back, and I'll see you guys next month. Bye.